So in today's video, I'm going to be previewing Bradford City versus Harrogate Town, and then in the second part of today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 8 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes on today's preview, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know your score prediction for this match and how would you line up as well. We need to win. There's no questions about it. Anything less than 3 points and a solid performance in this one, he's just going to make Valley Parade once again not a nice place to be. That first half against Grimsby was absolutely turgid. The 5-4-1 boring defensive negative football. I mean, we're at home for God's sake and we're playing a 5-4-1. It was so boring to watch. The second half was better because we actually attacked, but we didn't really create all too much. I understand we've got injuries at the moment, but it simply was not good enough against Grimsby. We have to go on and put on a show in this derby against Harrogate Town. Make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. If we start out then with the current Sky Bet League 2 table, my team Bradford City, we currently sit 16th in the table. After 7 games, we've got 2 wins, 3 draws and 2 defeats, scoring only 5 goals and conceding 7, which leaves us on a -2 goal difference and 9 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a draw, a win, a loss and a draw. Them last couple of matches then been a 1-1 draw at home to Grimsby Town, a 0-0 draw away at Mansfield Town, a 1-1 draw away at Wrexham, winning 4-3 on penalties in the second round of the Carabao Cup, a 1-0 win at home to Crewe, a 3-0 defeat away at Morecambe and a 1-1 draw away at Stockport County. If you compare that then to Harrogate Town, they currently sit 21st in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 7 games, they've got 2 wins, no draws and 5 defeats, scoring only 4 goals and conceding 8. They are one of the only teams in the league to have scored less goals than Bradford City at the moment. That obviously leaves them then on a -4 goal difference and 6 points. The last couple of matches have been a loss, a win, a loss and a loss. Them last couple of matches then been a 1-0 defeat away at Gillingham, a 2-1 win at home to Nottingham Forest under-21s in the Football League Trophy, a 1-0 defeat at home to Barrow, an 8-0 defeat, yes you heard me right, 8-0 defeat at home to Blackburn Rovers in the second round of the Carabao Cup, a 2-0 win at home to Morecambe, who went down to 10 men in that one, a 2-1 defeat away at Accrington, who also went down to 10 men, a 3-0 defeat away from home against Tranmere, and finally a 1-0 defeat at home to Forest Green. So they're having a really poor season so far. They're coming to Valley Parade. This has got 1-0 Harrogate written all over it, hasn't it? Now we're going to get into the team though that I would go with if I was Mark Hughes. Now I am recording this on Wednesday night and I don't know the specifics with our injuries, who's going to be back available, so I've gone with the same players who were available for the last game against Grimsby, and I'm also adding Sam Stubbs being unavailable. He came off in that game against Grimsby with some sort of a thigh injury. They're normally minimum 2 weeks, so I'm going to assume he's going to be unavailable for this game. I have gone with a 4-2-3-1 formation. I just think you can't play a 5-4-1 at home. I don't care how Mark Hughes wants to dress it up, you can't play that anymore, and with obviously your best centre-half being out injured potentially, I think it makes sense as of right now to go to the back 4. So fingers crossed he does that. If he goes with the 3 off, it's normally a 5 at the back again. I can't see that ending very well for him. In goal, I've gone with Harry Lewis. I thought, again, very solid against Grimsby. One of our better performers. Distribution wasn't too bad. You know, made some good saves. Saves that you probably expect him to make, but still some good saves throughout the game. I don't think he can do any better with the goal. It's just a brilliant header from Danny Rose down into the ground. Lewis stands absolutely no chance, so he absolutely has to be in between the sticks, in my opinion. Into the back 4 then, at right back, I have gone with Brad Halliday. I thought, again, against Grimsby, very good, and again, looked much better in the back 4. I just think he actually offers more in a back 4 going forward. Defensively, as always, absolutely outstanding. Brad Halliday, for me, is one of the best defensive fullbacks in the league, up against one of the form players in the division in Abolisa, and he didn't get past him once. Halliday was absolutely brilliant against Grimsby, and absolutely has to keep his place in this side. Into the 2 centre-backs then, firstly, I've gone with Matty Platt. On that right side, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing this thinking about Sam Stubbs potentially being injured for this one. If he's fit, I'd actually have him over Matty Platt. But Platt, for me, was at fault for, well, was partially at fault for the goal that we conceded against Grimsby. Danny Rose is his man, and he completely loses him and then doesn't jump for the header. But there was moments leading up to that, which I think we could have dealt with better. But apart from that, I thought Platt was, again, pretty solid. I'd probably say maybe a 6 out of 10, and he is a very solid player at this level. He just, again, that moment where he has switched off has unfortunately cost us a goal, and it's a rare Matty Platt mistake. I do think he is massively overhated by some of of our fans. I think he's really underappreciated, but like I can completely understand why that goal was he was definitely had some part to blame in that one. On the left side, I've gone with Jonathan Tompkinson. I think Kieran Kelly just doesn't really look ready for Football League football, in my opinion, as of right now. Ash Taylor, nowhere near the standard, and obviously Timmy Odesina not even registered to play for Bradford City until at least January, and even then we might not register him come then. So Tompkinson for me is our next best available option if Sam Stubbs is to be out injured. If Stubbs is fit, I go Stubbs and Tompkinson. I think there's clearly a very good player in Tompkinson, looks very comfortable on the ball, was solid for the last couple of minutes that he came onto the pitch against Grimsby. You know, looked like he'd been playing for weeks, if not months. He really did slot nicely into that side. So for me personally, he should be on the left of the two centre-backs. And at left-back, I have once again gone with Lewis Richards. I thought, again, very solid against Grimsby. He's just performing very well. You know, he's been at least a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10 in every game that he's played so far, and he's just a massive improvement on Rideout. It's nice to have a very good left back, brilliant defensively, don't have any question marks over him. The only slight question mark I have is when he runs, it takes him quite a while to get up into a sprint. You know, he runs at the start and like his acceleration is a bit like he's stuck in mud, but that's the only real criticism that I've got of Lewis Richards. I think overall he's a very, very good player, and I've been very impressed with what I've seen from him so far, and I think that one is one of our better signings from the transfer window. So for me personally, my back four would be Brad Halliday, Matty Platt, Jonathan Tompkinson and Lewis Richards. Into the two holding midfielders, central midfielders, whatever you want to call them. Firstly, I have gone with Richie Small. I think you can either have him or McDonald in there. I don't know if McDonald coming off against Grimsby was down to another injury. I think it was tactical, and I'd like to see Smallwood in there, just not on set pieces. I think in a game like this, you know, Yorkshire Derby, their midfield are going to be up for it. There's going to be a few occasions where Smallwood just needs to kick someone and kick him quite hard, and he's quite good at doing that. So I'd have him in the team, in my opinion. I thought against Grimsby, very average performance, nothing really too stand out, but he needs to be taken off set pieces for me, in my opinion. And partnering him, I've gone with Alex Gilliard. Now, I don't think Patterson is going to be available yet for this one. He might be back for next week's game against Newport County, which will obviously be massive news for us. If Patterson's actually available, I go Gilliard and Patterson in there, but Gilliard for me, good impact off the bench against Grimsby. He scored the goal, and that's what we need to see more from Gilliard. Him taking shots and him wanting to have the confidence and the courage to pick up the ball in that final third and take shots on, try and create chances, and obviously he puts himself about a bit. Very energetic, very good player. So for me personally, I like to see him in that midfield, partnered with Richie Smallwood. Into the front three then, behind the striker. On the right wing, I've gone with Bobby Poynton, the man of the moment. At the moment, he's absolutely brilliant. You know, 19 years of age, coming through from the academy, and he's been one of our better players so far this season. It's still absolutely baffles me how this man was not given a chance last year over the likes of Costello and Nevers. He's getting that chance now, and he's proving why he's a very, very good player. Still hasn't, for some reason, been tied down to a new long-term contract. I think this man is going to go places, and I'm not even over-exaggerating when I say that. You know, he's an absolute joy to watch. He's absolutely brilliant. You know, quality on the ball, energy, legs, commitment. I mean, when we scored that goal against Grimsby, Poynton jumped straight into the crowd, and he couldn't even get back out. Small had to go into the crowd to get him back out, because he just absolutely loves it. He gets what it means to play for Bradford City, and he absolutely has to stay in this team. I don't care if Ador's back from international duty. I don't care whatever the reason might potentially be. Bobby Poynton is one of the first names on the team sheet at this moment in time, and I'd absolutely love to see him in that position once more. In that number 10 role then, I've gone with Jamie Walker. Now, this was probably the hardest position to pick because no one's really stood out playing in there. You know, Walker has been very anonymous so far this season. Obviously scored a goal against Crewe, and that's about all he's really done. You know, had a good 45 minutes on the opening day away at Crawley, and hasn't really done much. Clark Ador's now back from international duty, got subbed on and then subbed off in the same game after only about 20 minutes for Kenya, so I'm not really too sure what has gone on there, but I haven't exactly been impressed with Ador recently as well. Not really many options to play there as of right now, but I'd go with Jamie Walker just for a bit of experience. You know, in a derby, he's someone who likes to, you know, wind people up. You never really know, but I'd go with Walker in that 10 position. And on the left wing, I have gone with Rehan Tulosh. I'm still not really too sure how you pronounce his name, but I thought, you know, showed some bright glimpses off the bench against Harrogate, and you need sometimes players who are going to be pacey, going to be direct and look to take people on, and I was quite impressed with what I saw. You know, some nice touches in there, some nice footwork at times as well. I think sometimes he's going to overdo it and overplay it, and, you know, we are going to get a little bit frustrated, but you look at our winger options at the moment. Do you want to be playing, you know, potentially Clark Ador on the wing, or Ugoke on the wing potentially? You know, we've not really got too many clear-cut options as of right now, or, you know, you don't really want to play Osadibe on the wing either. So I'd stick with Rehan Tulok, give him his first full debut for the football club and just see what he can do from the start. And leading the line, I've gone with Chisholm Afoka. I'll take Colin Doyle up front over Matt Derbyshire. That is an experiment that cannot work ever again. It cannot happen ever again. Afoka had a good impact off the bench against Grimsby as well. I like what I saw from him. You know, he's got a good size about him, held the ball up quite well, linked up very nicely. He's got good feet in there. As long as he doesn't throw himself to the floor and start diving again, I do think this one could work out as a good loan signing. So I'd like to see him get a start in this one. On the bench then for me, that'd leave Colin Doyle, Daniel Ugoke, Kieran Kelly, Kevin McDonald, Adam Wilson, Clark Adore and Matt Derbyshire. The players currently unavailable, I think, are Sam Stubbs with that thigh injury, Alex Patterson, Harry Chapman, Tyler Smith, Verden Oliver and Andy Cook, which means the players missing out would be Heath Richardson, Harvey Rowe, Ash Taylor, Timmy Odesina, Liam Rideout, Emmanuel Sidibe and Dylan Yumbe. Now we're going to get into my Game Week 8 League 2 score predictions. Starting out then with the Friday night kickoff between Salford City and Notts County. I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win for Notts County. Into the Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs then, AFC Wimbledon versus Crewe Alexandra. I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win for Wimbledon. Accrington Stanley versus Sutton United. I'm going to go with a 2-0 home win for Stanley. Bradford City versus Harrogate Town. I think we're actually going to lose this game 2-1, unfortunately. Colchester United versus Mansfield Town. I think finishes in a 2-1 away win for the Stags. Crawley Town versus Tranmere Rovers. I think finishes in a 1-1 draw. Obviously, former Tranmere manager Ian Dawes was the first to be sacked, I do believe, in League 2. And is it their football director, technical director, something like that? Nigel Adkins will be taking over for the time being, which is absolutely crazy considering how poor his spell was with Charlton Athletic. Forest Green Rovers versus Doncaster Rovers. I think finishes in a 3-1 home win for Forest Green. Gillingham FC versus Morecambe FC. I think finishes in another 1-0 home win for the Gills. MK Dons versus Stockport County. I think finishes in a high-scoring 3-3 draw. Swindon Town versus Walsall FC. Every Swindon game seems to have about 60 goals in at the moment. I'm going to go with a 4-2 home win for Swindon, with Jake Young probably scoring another brace or a hat-trick. Wrexham AFC versus Grimsby Town. I'm going to go with the shock 2-0 away win for the Mariners. And finally, Newport County versus Barrow AFC. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to leave it there though for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you go down to 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that would be massively appreciated. Subscribe, that's not the right thing. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know your score prediction for this match and what would your starting 11 be as well. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.